You're live.
Thank you, Jimmy Bell. Hi, everybody. It's Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's it going? Good to see you. I'm so happy to be here. I look forward to this every week. So, as I said, my name is Maria, and this is my show, What's the Story with Maria. We've been here almost 3 years. It's very exciting. And Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, you can find us right here. We broadcast live. And then, of course, I save it. I save the video, and then you can watch it as many times as you like. The great part about this is that we also go into podcasts in about 6 hours. You can find us on Spotify, Spreaker, and iHeartRadio. Just type in What's a Story with Maria, and you'll see my image and then all the shows. This is episode 145, and I have named this episode, Get Me Out of Here. Okay, so it is May 5th. It is Cinco de Mayo, and it is also the strangest, probably Cinco de Mayo anybody will ever have here in the States, because we are, if you watch this years from now, it's 2020, and we're experiencing a very strange time. So everything is a little bit upside down. We're still, a lot of people are still staying home. A lot of people are not working. It's affected a lot of different industries. And the mission of my show is, of course, to showcase my friends. I always love to do that. And what the show is about is entertainment. So we are this week going back to what we normally do, because I've taken a little bit of a detour, because I wanted to address a lot of the stuff that's happening in the country right now. And we will go back and forth as things change. But this week, I really wanted to go back to our entertainment roots. And I have some really great, amazing guests that are calling in. My friend Darren Romeo is calling in at 9:10. I'm jumping out of my skin. He's amazing. He is a famous magician, but to me, he is just a wonderful human being. That happens to be my friend, but he's really amazing. So I'm really looking forward to him calling in. And so that's how you can find us. You can find us on my page, of course. My page is open. You can come back here anyway. If you're a first-time listener, you can come back and find us anytime right here on my Facebook page. Also, we are going live under the mothership of Armed Radio. So if you have TuneIn app, you can type in, you go to your TuneIn app and typed in Armed Radio, and all the different shows will come up depending on the day. And at 9 p.m. on Tuesdays, you'll get my show. Also, you can stream live, armeddigitalmedia.com, armedradioglobal.com. Same thing, you can stream that live. But as I said, don't worry if you're not there right at that time, because we save it and you can find us in podcasts. So that's the great news. So let's check on, I always love to check on the people that check in with us. This is amazing. Faith Daniel, hi, how are you, honey? Nice to have you. Kenny Holcomb, he's from Tennessee. And Kenny, I think you're going to particularly love the show tonight, because my friend Darren Romeo is down in Tennessee, and his show has run in Tennessee for many years. And I think you're really, really going to enjoy it. But he's also a great guy that you might have run into. We run in the same circles. So Eddie Kutu from Blade Salon in Rocky Hill, Connecticut. Eddie, I know you, my sister, my cousin Gina, Joyce, all my hairdressers, Penny, James, everybody's just kind of on hold, waiting in the wings, ready to go back into work. So that a lot of things are happening, and different states have different rules, and we'll see what happens. But I'm hoping that soon, I think all the people that need haircuts and hair colors are losing their minds, and they are literally waiting, breathing at your window right now as we speak. So Eddie Kutu of Blade Salon in Rocky Hill, Connecticut. I love your Instagram, by the way, Eddie. I love all the pictures you post. Yes, Faith, I am excited about Darren joining too. He is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful human being that happens to be incredibly talented. So that I know. And if you know Darren, you know he's just an amazing guy. Very sweet and very generous human being. Scotty Barbarino, hello, how are you, my love? I was watching some of your piano bar live and enjoying it thoroughly, really great. And I love that we're all, we just keep going. We just keep going here. in the entertainment business, and we're finding different ways to get our message out and to entertain people. And especially now, a lot of people are home and they need a little distraction, So and we'll be back. We'll all be back to where we need to be at some point. Nobody has a timeline yet, but we will. The entertainment business will go back. But in the meantime, we will entertain you from our homes and from our phones and all kinds of different things. So thank God for Wi-Fi. Thank God for carriers. I appreciate my Spectrum. If you have Verizon, whatever you have, thank God for these people. Okay, Kenny, you're going to love it. My cousin Rena Cruniali Berge has joined us from Massachusetts. Yes, Rena, happy Tuesday. Thank you, my friend. Boy, do I appreciate that. So let me see. Eddie Scott. Yes, Darren he's an awesome performer. Faith, do you work with Darren, or are you just a fan? Are you someone? Because I know that I was watching some of his clips today, because I do so much enjoy watching different things that people do. And I was watching some of Darren's stuff today, and it's of epic proportion. So I realize he has a lot of different people on stage with him, and I'm going to talk to him about that. So if you are one of those people, Faith, type that in. Jay Rivera has joined us, our lovely friend Jay Rivera. We're so glad you're here. And so we want to welcome you. We're broadcasting out of New York City. New York, city that never sleeps. However, tonight is the first night. Eddie Kutu just said, can you believe what this would have been like without the internet? Well, Eddie, I'll tell you what it would have been like. It would have, I personally prefer it with the internet, trust me. But remember when we were kids, we didn't have internet. We were outside every second of the day. And, we just ran around a lot. So, and I don't know, we had this, Eddie and I had the same set of friends. We used to hang out at each other's houses a lot and play cards and play board games and make chocolate chip cookies. Oh my God. I was thinking about that today because I'm going to make some chocolate chip cookies this week. And I thought to myself, when was the last time I made chocolate chip cookies? Probably when I was in high school. Seriously. And that's when we were all hanging out. So, but there was, a lot of school activities and stuff like that. So Darren is going to call in any second, and I am very excited about that. And then I have my friend Lauren Moran Mills calling in. She's a choreographer and a director and an actress, amazing, and an amazing teacher. She teaches with me at the Mayor Performing Arts Center. That's why I wore my shirt today. So, yeah, a lot has changed. Tonight is the first night that New York City subways are actually closing from 1 p.m. to 5 a.m. This has never happened, but they're doing it for very good reason. They're doing it because they want to just make sure that they clean everything and everything is sanitized so that when they do reopen at 5 a.m., everything is ready to go. And there's, they have to keep these MTA workers safe. That is the really important part of all of this. And our essential workers out there, I know you hear that term over and over. It's like, what does that mean? And depending on where you live, like I'm sure it's very different in Tennessee or in Connecticut. Well, Connecticut might not be that different, but than it is here. So every place has something. And I'm over the next few weeks, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have different people calling in from different places and talking about, how life has changed for them and things like that. So, let me see. Maybe I'll call Darren because he just called me and I said, Darren, call me back at 9:10. But I just want to make sure that, sometimes things don't go through. So we want to get everybody in, and I just want to get everybody represented. That is my job. My job is to get everyone to tell their story, so to speak. That's why it's called What's the Story with Maria. So, okay, let's see if we can get Darren on there. Oh, there he is. Darren, is that you, honey?
Am I doing it right?
You are doing it right. Yes, you are on. We are live now. I have two microphones that you are going to come through. One is for the radio and one is for Facebook. And what you have your voice at right now is a perfect, you can even bring it up a little bit if you like.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
I have my cell phone on maximum volume. Is that going to work?
Yeah, that's perfect. And you know what? Don't watch the video right now because it's delayed by 30 seconds. Stay on the phone.
Actually, I'm 2 minutes late because my father, Sam Romeo, is trying to watch the video as we talk. Your
dad is hysterical. And after we talk about a lot of this stuff, I want to talk about how much I love your parents as well. So,
You do. And
yes,
I love you too.
I
We
love,
solve the problem like Maria and the coronavirus.
exactly. Exactly. So first of all, let me tell people that I know you, a lot of the duplex friends know you, but I mean, okay, so you're a magician. You're a magician of epic proportion. I was just watching some of your clips today and how the enormity of, you have a huge cast on stage. I was watching the Pigeon Forge show and I can't believe how many people are in your cast.
It's pretty crazy, right, Maria?
Yeah.
Especially, we're New Yorkers, so there's not many areas of the world that can support a production like that. And so we were very blessed to be able to do that. In fact, oddly enough, I think the version of the Pigeon Forge was one of the biggest I've ever done.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Even in some ways bigger than Las Vegas.
Okay, so
in some ways.
Let's back up because I want to cover all that. So first of all, Pigeon Forge, is that in Dollywood or is it close to Dollywood?
Okay, so a great question because very simply put for your listeners.
Yeah.
The area is most famous for being Dollywood because Dolly's so famous, right?
Right.
But she has a theme park in the area.
Okay.
So thank God for her, that's a big reason for tourism.
Right.
But outside of her theme park, it's theater, show, mini golf, restaurant. So it's a whole area for tourism.
Wow.
So it's a lot of people. It's funny. Even people that followed me for a long time, they're like, "Oh, you're staying in Dollywood," and no problem about that. In fact, in some ways, it's easier because if you buy a ticket to a theme park, then you're going to have a full house because it's free.
Right.
But
well, that's
in a theater. You have to buy a ticket to the show. So
right.
if you want to see so-and-so, or if you want to see Darren, doesn't matter if you're Darren Romeo or somebody else, if you go to that show, in the case me,
all right,
and you're praying and hoping that they're paying a ticket to come see you in your theater.
Okay, so I am holding up one of the flyers from Magic Beyond Belief, Darren Romeo. Just so people, because normally, folks, let me just explain. I normally have people in the studio and I also cook for them. And Darren and I have been talking for a long time. And as a matter of fact, I was scheduled to go to Darren's Long Island home, his mom's and dad's home, because I love his parents. And we were going to go out there, me and Lynn Portis, my musical director.
I don't think you really want to talk to me. I think you want to talk to my parents.
No, I do love your parents. I do love your parents. They're show people too. I mean, show people make show people. But I got to say, we had to take a detour because obviously a lot of things went down. So we decided to skip that. We're going to be in early April, but we will, I promise you, as soon as it is clear, we will reschedule to have Darren either in the studio or for me to go out to Long Island and visit you. And we're going to do a live show from there. So this telephone interview is simply a substitute for the real deal. But I did want to show you how gorgeous Darren is because he is beautiful. And so this is the Magic Beyond Belief. Now, Darren, I want you a little bit to talk about, because there was a part of you.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna need 10 seconds on the gorgeous and beautiful line.
No, okay, take that in. Well, you are gorgeous and beautiful.
Oh, shut up. All right, moving on. Let's go.
No, you are. Okay, but
stop trying to embarrass me, Maria.
Listen, I call it like I see it. That's it. You're very, very, very cute, and but you're a beautiful guy too. You are very sweet and just a really great person. And we've been friends for, I'm going to say, Darren, at least 15 years, right?
Say that again?
We've been friends for at least 15 years, right?
Yeah, well, Maria, I pretend that I'm 18 forever, so I don't want to say how long I'm friends with you.
All right, let's say a long time. All right. So listen, now, but before you mentioned Vegas. Can you tell people, a lot of people know who you are, but people that are like, who is this Darren Romeo person? If there's anybody out there that doesn't know, tell them about the Vegas and how you started. You started very young in the magic business, right?
I did, yes.
Okay, so tell people about that.
Well, first of all, I don't think, other than my incredible fan base, I don't think that many people know me. I'm very realistic about what's happened in the career. And I'm saying this because I'm friends with you. I love you. It's so nice to be talking to you, and we're all bored of show business. But for me, I was a very introverted child, which a lot of entertainers can relate to, but nobody knows that about us entertainers.
Right.
And then we latch onto it, and then it became my life. I never expected that it would become my life magic.
Right, but let me ask you, since you're talking about your childhood, because I love to talk about this stuff. Were you a kid that, like, how did you get into magic? What was that about? Was it just something you literally fell into? Or did you always love it?
I was a very young child when I snuck up on my sister. She was a little bit older than me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, honey.
Yeah, and I heard her on the phone, and she was advertising that she was getting $100 a trick.
Okay.
And I said, this is a business I want to be in.
Wow. And that's it. How old were you?
Honey, Maria, you know me better than anybody. That's a joke. My sister is not a prostitute.
Well, I didn't hear you say that. I didn't hear you say prostitute. I thought you said something else. Oh, my God in heaven. Thank God you corrected me. People are going to think I'm crazy. Oh, my God. I thought you said something else. Jesus. Dear God. Don't get me in trouble, Darren.
No, I won't get you in trouble.
All right.
Yourself in trouble.
So you're right.
Honestly, I fell in love with magic at a very early age. It was a hobby that took just like you fell in love with musical theater, right?
Oh my God, yes. From when I was about 10.
Did you think that it was going to become your life for the rest of your life?
Yes. And you know why? Because I was so addicted to it, the rush of it, that I didn't know how I was going to do it. But I knew that I just was so pulled into it. It was like literally being in a vortex of joy I had never known. And I was just like, no, there's no way I'm doing anything else. And that's it. And that's how I felt. I felt like I'm going to figure this out, and I am going to always perform no matter what it takes. And that's kind of, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say that was one of the things that I love about you is that, and we spoke very briefly about how we're going to talk about how this terrible time that we're going through in all of our lives relates to everybody.
Right, absolutely.
But I think that what you were very vulnerable, and you said you do what you do, you love what you do, and a lot of other stuff doesn't make sense. Excuse me, let me rephrase that. It doesn't matter if you're famous or rich or poor. You followed your heart, and you've always been kind and gentle as long as I've known you to everyone.
Well, thank you, honey. I appreciate it.
Everyone next to you. You celebrate everybody's talents, and I think most of your listeners might know Broadway and might know show business. Some of my fans that are listening may not.
Right.
But how many of our friends are so supremely talented?
Yes.
Like beyond words, but still have to navigate through this crazy life. And this is before what we're facing right now.
Absolutely. It's a really good point, actually. Because what people, it's so funny. It's like when I hear the term overnight success, I always say to myself, there is no such thing. What the overnight might be is that people discovered you overnight. Like, in other words, they had never maybe heard of someone's name until that day. But that person, whoever that person is, has been at it forever. And every step that they've taken has, and the tenacity that goes with that, or the as you know, to use your vulnerability, the joy, putting yourself out there, has constantly contributed to them being who you know today. And you're right. Like the most, look, this affects you. What's happening right now affects you and me and Broadway people and people that sing in lounges and circus people. I mean, everybody that's in the entertainment business is affected by this. And you're right. It's like it's the leveler. It's the great equalizer, this thing, So you're right. And I'm sure Vegas is not.
Let me ask you a question. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, honey.
Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm taking you from speakerphone to real phone because my father is very interested in this conversation. So if you can hear me, I'd like to leave it on speakerphone. You can
Yes,
hear
I can hear you great. It's great.
I am enamored with all of my friends are just like coasting through what's going on in this world to just go, okay, what next? Because what are you supposed to do besides that?
Right. Well, that's the thing. You know, I was thinking about that today. Like, I have to, you know, at some point, I will have to I'll have to not rethink this, because I'm not rethinking anything. But what I am going to do is have to change directions in order to make a living right now. And, you know, that's the thing. Like, I'm always willing to work. That's never been an issue for me. But the thing is, you know, for most of us, we have the skill sets we have, and we're waiting for the next show. We're waiting for the next gig, whatever it is. So we have to be available for those things. But in the interim, we have to pay our rent, and we have to pay our bills. So, you know, a lot of us are going to, I don't know what's going to happen, but I got to tell you one thing. Oh my God, Lynn Portis. Hi, Lynn Portis. Lynn Portis just popped on. Linny, when everything goes back to the way it should, we are going to hang out with Darren Romeo, because he's a Long Island boy. Lynn lives in Merrick, and you guys would love each other. But I feel like, Darren, we have to think positively. Things will change, of course. Like, maybe it'll be more of, like, in your situation, maybe recording more stuff and then having it go on, like maybe a documentary for you, or for now, until things get back to where audiences can be in places. Because those audiences you performed for were huge.
Well, okay. But one of the reasons that I wanted to do this, besides the fact that I love you, is that maybe your audience, maybe it's my fans, but your audience, maybe they can learn something from a question or from asking anything to you or to me about where we are now and where we're going in the future. I mean, you know me, I'm a book, I don't care.
Yeah.
But I do believe that we have to be smart, we have to be compassionate, we have to put each other in order for this to work, because it will be a new world for a very long time.
Yeah.
It'll be a new world for a very, very long time.
Right.
And when you talk about all the nice things that you said about me, it's very nice what you said, and all the blessings that I've had in Jim Forge. I mean, let's put this in perspective. Jim Forge is amazing. I have a great life here. I have a great life here. I have a beautiful home here. Let's talk about Disney World. Let's talk about freaking Broadway.
Right. Oh my God.
Broadway. Let's talk about the cruise ship industry. For any entertainer that are listening, one of the things that I said to myself, and you let me know if I'm going on a tangent.
No, go ahead, please.
One of the things that I said to myself is, I mean, we're talking about the biggest business in the world, people that are so much smarter than us, right?
Right.
So much smarter than us. They have to figure out how to reopen Broadway. They have to figure out how to reopen the cruise ship industry.
Right.
So to each individual entertainer, you, me, or whoever, on any level or any relative level, we have to watch how they do that.
Right.
Because if they're successful at that, then we have hope and we have a future.
Yeah. But
hopefully we can contribute to those ideas, and hopefully that we can add to that. But it really is going to be about those businesses picking up and surviving and reinventing themselves in the new future, because nothing will ever be the same again.
Right. Right. Well, you know what though, honey, I'm a ridiculous optimist, but I do believe that, like you said, like, these people that are in charge of these industries are very, very smart and very innovative. And I do believe that everybody wants to get back to work. However, we have to be smart about it. So if we are, and we take it a step at a time, I do believe that we're going towards a different plane, but that the world will never stop needing entertainers. You know, look, there was World War II, there was Vietnam, there was a lot of different things that happened in this country where entertainment was a little bit on the back burner, but we always came back. And this is one of those times. And you're right. Now is a time where we as entertainers can do things to make people feel happy while they're stuck at home, or kids. Like I teach kids, and they're so cute. They're so excited when they see you on the Zoom classes. They're so happy to see you, and I'm so happy to see them. So I think that if we just, like you said, let's just, whatever we put out into the universe does happen. So let's put out that I love what you said. What I heard was being of service now. Now it is our time as entertainers to be of service to the world and see what the world needs from us. And that's what I heard in your message. Is that what you were saying?
I agree with you 150%. What I'm saying is, and thank you, actually, I really like how you just not called me out, but challenged me. I am saying that I think it's our responsibility.
Right.
To figure out how it continues. I agree with you. If you take the magic world, for example, okay, let me be selfish and talk about the magic world.
Okay, please.
For example, as the internet has gained traction in the world, people can go online and figure out how to do this trick, or you can figure out the methodology behind this trick, or how to do this and how to do that.
Right.
But I've always said, with respect to magic, a lot of people have argued that magic is a dying art because technology is catching up with the art of magic.
That's interesting.
A lot of people have said it's a dying art because technology is catching up with the art of magic. And I say something that's going to, I hope it makes you laugh.
Yeah.
I say something that the smaller you are, the dumber you fall.
I agree with you. I know exactly what you're saying because you're overthinking it. That's why smart people overthink things and they miss the obvious.
So I think that there is so back to your original point,
right?
I could argue the point for live entertainment and for magic the same way that any entertainer would argue about this. That people need live entertainment. We just need to figure out how to do it.
Right.
It will never be a dying art. If I said something that made it like that.
No. Oh, I didn't hear that at all. I didn't hear that at all. What I heard was we have to find different ways to do it because of the audience, capacity. Oh no, it's actually people need us more than ever now. Are you kidding me? Now is
I think so.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. Well, all right. Listen, honey bunny, is your mother there?
No, she's sleeping.
All right. We tell her I love her. Tell your dad I love him. And I'm very much looking forward to when we can do an interview in person.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Is there anything that I could bring to the table to your audience that is a question that you want to ask me or anything? Or for now, let's just hug each other.
Well, you know what? I have, let me see. My next guest is calling in 4 minutes, but here's what I would love for you to tell, because I'm looking forward to our full show. However, I want you to tell people a little bit about the Vegas experience that you had, a little bit about that life.
Is most of your audience, Maria, entertainers?
Yes.
It was the best. What's that book? It was the best of everything, and it was the worst of everything.
Right.
For me, I'm, as you know, a lot of people don't know me very well, but my biggest experience was my college education.
Right. Yep.
In show business. So
right.
What I think that if your viewers and listeners are mostly entertainers, I think the worst part about entertainers is their inability to step away from themselves and understand the business of situation. And this is a business.
Yeah.
Everyone gets a paycheck. It doesn't matter if you're more talented than me or you. It doesn't matter if you can hit B flat or C sharp. What matters is understanding the business.
Right.
Which is actually going to the solution of going forward in this society. Because we all have to figure out a way of how to go forward. A very complicated question. I could spend an hour on that, so I don't know if I was very clear there, but
well,
I think that.
listen, you know what I love that you said, this is what I heard. You know, every entertainer has that part in there where it was boot camp. Like for me, I didn't go to college, but what I did was I went straight into the entertainment world, and I went straight into doing these reviews, you know, at this place that I worked at in Massachusetts that no longer exists, but it was called Romy's Quarterdeck. And that's where I got my boot camp education. And we used to do reviews, like 3 reviews a night. And we would change every 6 weeks, we would change our reviews. And, you know, that's where was my boot camp. So I totally understand what you're talking about. And I have a respect for that time in my life. And I also know that we have to stay humble. That's what I heard from you tonight. I heard humility. I heard respect for your art. And I heard, let's stay open to moving forward. If I could wrap up your interview, that's how I would wrap it up.
Well, you know how much I love you. So look forward to talking to you soon.
Yes, I love you too. And I will talk to you so soon. And I want to thank you for calling me yesterday, because Darren called me yesterday just to make sure I was okay. And that meant the world to me. So thank you, honey. You're a lovely, beautiful person. And I can't wait till we can see each other in person.
I really hope that, like, the way that I talk to you, and then I'm going to say goodnight.
Yeah.
The way that I talk to you, I'm talking to you the way that I know you. So I hope that the listeners receive that in the spirit of the way that I know you. So,
yep.
God bless you all. You all stay safe and be careful.
I love you, sweetheart. I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Okay, bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. Oh, my God. What a great person. Very, very, very sweet guy and incredibly talented. So Lauren is calling in momentarily. So this is Darren Romeo. I'm going to show you. But, you know, you can look, just Google him. You're not going to believe what pops up. So much stuff. Okay, so calling in my next guest, Lauren Moran Mills. Lauren?
Hi.
Hi, sweetheart. How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
I'm good. I have a picture of you that I'm going to show everybody. This is my friend Lauren. She is amazing, because, you know, I like to have people in the studio, but this is, you know, we're going in a different direction right now. But this is my friend Lauren, and she is a choreographer, an actress, a director, a teacher, and a mom. She's amazing. So you are, Lauren, but I'll tell you why I wanted you to call in tonight. I mean, besides all those amazing things that you do. Because yesterday, my friend Darren called me, who was just on, who's just a great guy. And you guys would have been amazing in the studio together. But
we'll have to make that a plan when we get out of this.
Absolutely. And you know, but you know what? He called me out of the blue. And I just thought it was the sweetest thing. And I was like, wow, well, like, what a sweet guy to like be checking up on me. Like, he's got enough going on right now, you know? And like, well, we all do, but you and I were texting the other day because we were both feeling a little blue, and we were kind of like sort of helping each other out a little bit. And I thought, you know what? Like, I had Darren call yesterday. I said, and I need Lauren to jump on this train, because and I said to him, you know what I'm going to call this show? Because like when we go to the podcast, it's going to be called Get Me Out of Here. Because right? Because first of all, the magician thing, you know, magicians, they do a lot of those tricks where people are in certain boxes and all that stuff. And then, but you and I have been talking about, because you and I are such extroverts. And we're so used to being around people all the time that
I know.
Right? Go ahead, honey.
No, it's the truth. It's like we're so used to giving our energy and then receiving it, and like cycle through, you know, other people. So it's weird. I mean, I have a family here, but, you know, I'll be honest, there are some days when we all ignore each other.
Well, oh my God, of course. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding?
I mean, it's the same energy. So it's very bizarre. So I agree with you. You and I were Italian.
Yes.
And with family and breaking bread. It's weird to not be able to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And also we teach at the same school. We teach at the Mayo Performing Arts. And I got my t-shirt on tonight, Lauren, because of you.
I saw that. I said, look at her. I was watching. I was listening.
You're so cute. Now, listen, now, are your classes over? Are you guys done? Did you wrap up?
We did. We finished a week ago. We finished last week, and it was so much fun. We did we did our plays. We read them aloud because we don't do musical theater. So the kids were adorable. They came in costumes.
Oh my
Scott
God.
and I performed with them. Kathy joined us, who's our boss. She joined us for the last class. It was fun to actually have a listener.
Yes.
But it was just weird because you go from having this kids there or anyone at rehearsal, wherever you are, 3-dimensional, and then it becomes very one-dimensional. And it was a big change, but I'm so proud of all of us. I believe how we all just kind of did it.
You know what, though? I got to say something. I know that this is a hard time for all of us, and the teachers, we're adjusting. I got to say, like Kathy, our director of education, man, I feel like everything is as good as its leader, everything.
Yeah.
And, there's a saying about the head is whatever, I forget what it is right now, and I don't want to waste time thinking about it. I'll think of it later. But what happened immediately, and I hope that this is happening where you guys work or the companies you work for or whatever, Kathy immediately got us on the same page of saying, we were talking about this with Darren as well, as performers and as teachers, because teachers are performers as well. And we're all performers aside from being teachers anyway. But she got us on a page, like what resonated with me was that we have got to be of service right now. These kids are stuck at home. Their parents are in a full-on panic, as we all are. And even though as teachers, we were in a panic, we had to rise to the occasion. And because we did, I feel that these kids had such an experience that was like for them, I was talking to somebody, one of the other teachers, and I said, listen, this is my goal as a teacher right now. Like it's always different, like intention, when Kathy taught us about intention, but the intention was make sure that they look at this as an adventure and not this horrible thing that's happened. Right. Yeah. And that's what you did. And when I was in that Zoom meeting with you and Scott were talking about how you were creating these exits and entrances with the kids and costumes, I was like, that's amazing. It's amazing that you did that because kids need to. Go ahead.
No, you're right, because it's like otherwise it would just be, hey, we're coming on Zoom.
Right.
And we're just going to read a play. It needed to be something that they would look forward to doing. They love doing the costume. And they would do costume changes. They would turn their camera off. And they would come back in a new costume.
I love it.
Play.
Yes.
Yes. And they loved it. I mean, they loved it. They had a great time. And I'll tell you, I don't know if it's because they didn't have to worry about blocking, but Scott and I talked about it, and I said their storytelling is epic. And I think because they were there in their homes, and they were so free. So when we do get back to the theater, because we're going to get back.
Yes, we will.
I'm hoping that they will carry that with them. And I think that they will apply this experience to not only life, but to art too, with the theater and acting and music.
I'm so glad you said that, because that's such a brilliant statement, and you're right. Because what I picked up was, there, in acting, as we know, because we do it, and you're a director, and it's amazing, and you need to be vulnerable in order to really key into a character or a performance that moves an audience. Vulnerability is such a key aspect of that. And I think, like, for me, I see if you agree with this, watching these kids in their homes and in their settings made them so open and vulnerable where they may not have felt that in class, maybe because they're next to their friends and they want to look a certain way, or they've just been on, in a car for an hour getting there. There was something about them that was so even more beautiful than they normally are. And I agree with you. If we can as directors and actors find that place in people, I think that we've really hit something that is like magical.
Well, and it's funny because I know you and we've had like talks about spirituality, and trust me, I'm not flip about this at all. I mean, I really do not leave my house. I go for a run around my block.
Yep.
Occasionally, if I have to run to the food store, my husband does most of the food shopping because he knows I don't really doing it, especially now.
Yeah.
But I wear a mask or gloves. I do feel like, and I still stand by this, it is terrible. I mean, I lost a family member during this whole thing. But I'm also, the fact that I get to experience this in the heart of it is also mind-blowing to me.
Yeah.
Because I'm definitely a changed person, but I also feel like the universe said, I'm going to put you in this, and you're going to be okay. It's going to change you, but you are strong enough to survive this. I really feel that way. So I'm just surrendering to the universe now.
Yeah.
And kind of, there are some days that are harder than others, believe me. It's just, the tedium is what I think is hard. But are you doing it? What are you doing? Like, what are you doing when you're you're home?
First of all, I want to say I'm sorry about I think it was your aunt, right?
Yeah,
so I want to say I'm really sorry about that. Thank
you.
And what you just said is incredibly powerful. And I agree. Look, I'm not a religious person, but I am a spiritual person. And you and I have always connected on that level and talked about it. And what am I doing? Let me see. What the funny thing is that for me, because I always had a million jobs, I worked at 3 different clubs, I teach, I'm like you, I'm running around all the time.
Yeah.
And so I always would say, it's like, as soon as I have a little time, I'm going to write some more songs. As soon as I have a little time, I have to finish that. And what's happened is that I do have time, and it's kind of been amazing in a weird way. Like, I don't wish that this had happened. And I certainly don't wish for any of the sadness, and I can't wait to get back. But I got to tell you, it's been for me like an amazing experience being with myself and finishing projects that I started or I've been doing a lot of, which is, it's so funny. These things keep coming on, these magical things keep coming on my other computer. But what I've been doing is like writing a lot, and I love it. Like, I've been stream of consciousness writing. And I'll start a Google Doc and I will just name it something, whatever comes into my brain. Like
I love that.
The other night, I just was so full of anxiety trying to sleep that I couldn't sleep. And I said, I talked to myself almost like, well, what's wrong with you? And I thought, oh my God, if anything happens to me, nobody knows what I'm thinking. So I said, I got up and I literally started a Google Doc called If Anything Happens to Me.
You know what? I love that. I love stream of conscious writing.
Yeah. Because I think that's what keeps us awake. It's that incomplete part of ourselves as artists. And not just artists. I think everybody feels that way. Like, so writing for me has been a huge release. Like, don't worry. I don't even have to capitalize anything. Like, don't worry about punctuation. Just write stream of consciousness. And then one of my friends is doing this article in Jersey City. And he said, listen, can you give me a 500-page article on anything you want? And I started by saying I can't stop eating. And what came out of it was completely different. But I said to myself, I'm not going to even plan this. I'm going to see what comes out of me. And, as an artist, I think you can identify with that. But that's what I've been doing a lot, is writing.
I think that's awesome. And you know what? Who knows what this could lead to for you? It might just be, private. It might just be something you keep for yourself. You might develop it into a song or a movie.
Right.
Because it's so, listen, art is life. Life is art. Our stories come from truth. You never know. So I tell everyone, I'm like, you're going to think I'm crazy, but there is just something so spiritual about what's going on right now. I woke up Sunday morning at 4 a.m. and I couldn't fall back asleep.
Yeah.
I was wide awake. So I just cleaned the kitchen. I watched sunrise. I was dragging the rest of the day. I was so tired, but there was something that just pulled me out of bed. And I think we're all, in the same storm, but like in different ships. Because we're, someone that lives further away is having a different experience than you or I. Because we are really in it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, listen, I'm going to put the phone down for a minute because I'm going to do the part of my show called Go Ahead, Keep Eating. Now, but I'm going to do it while you're on the phone with me, but I need to use so you're good. At 1, 2, 3, we're both going to say, Go ahead, keep eating. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Go ahead, keep eating. All right. Now, hold on because I'm going to show our food. Tonight is because you also asked me, I've been cooking a lot, as I know everybody has.
I'm not quarantined with you.
I know.
You're cooking. You're so good.
Well, I have gained a considerable amount of weight, but guess what? Too bad. I'll get back to it when I get out there.
It's in quarantine.
It's okay. Everybody's going to be a little chubby. All right. So, let me just put the phone down and then I'll come back to you, Lauren. But Lauren will be with me. She's going to be modeling these things with me. Okay. So tonight, what did I make? It's mayo, and I went with it. And so, what did I make? I am not a cook that cooks Mexican food normally, but I was inspired by Leo Roredas, my accidental intern and great friend. So I made a fajita and a taco. So what did I make in the fajita tonight? This is what I did. I took a steak. I took a delicious cut of steak, and what did I do with it? I cooked it in garlic, olive oil, green and red peppers, a little oregano, paprika, cumin, and then so that is my fajita, and I put it in a very soft corn tortilla. And Leo taught me how to toast a tortilla right on the stove, where you just flip it over the flame. So I saw Leo do that, and I did it. And then on the other side here, so that's my fajita here. Stay with me, Lauren. Don't go anywhere. And okay, and then on this side is my taco. So I took ground beef. And let me see. I took ground beef and I sauteed it in chili peppers, paprika, cumin, tomato paste, cocoa powder, and then the taco I bought at Trader Joe's, the taco shell. I didn't make the taco shell. And so that's what I made. And then I have on top of that, I have lime, jalapenos, plum tomatoes, avocados I put all around the dish with a little bit. You look at my dish. Isn't this pretty? I'm very proud of my plating tonight. And I have sour cream, little dollops there, and avocado. And what else do I have in here? Shredded cheese and lettuce. So that is my Cinco de Mayo plate. I'm going to enjoy this to the fullest. Then for my salad, everybody knows I love a good salad. Oh, also my bottle of Cholula, which I love. This is my favorite hot stuff. Cholula. And then what did I make for salad? So I'm a surf and turf kind of girl. So I said, what do you want, Maria? I love shrimp. So I made a salad, and this is iceberg lettuce, red cabbage, shredded red cabbage, red onion, corn. I roasted corn and then shucked it, and then radishes and grilled shrimp. And it was grilled in same Mexican spices that I used for that. So that is what I'm having. It's going to be fresh lime and extra virgin olive oil. For cookies tonight, for my dessert, I have heart cookies, bizcochos de corazón. And what these are, they're raspberries, like raspberry cream, kind of like Linzer tarts, but heart-shaped. And Lauren, I'm coming back to you. I want to say Happy Mother's Day. It's Sunday. I don't know if you remembered that. So this Sunday is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. It's going to be a strange one, but a beautiful one.
Yes. Hoping for rain. It's rained every Mother's Day, it seems. Hopefully we'll get some good weather. The rain is a little draining too, especially during a pandemic.
Yeah, but in a weird way, sometimes I like the rain. It gives me permission to be sad.
Yeah, you feel like, you know what? I'm just going to sit on my couch for 12 hours and no one, that's it.
Right. But I do love the sunshine and I love being out. All right, honey, I can't. Listen, go ahead. You were going to say something. Go ahead.
Oh, no, that's it.
I wanted to tell you that I so needed for you to call in tonight, and I needed your energy, and I love you to pieces.
I love you too.
And
I miss you.
I miss you too. And soon we will be doing great things again together. And I feel like you and I, there's something, we have to do something together. We either have to write something together. I don't know. I feel like something's coming.
Agree.
Yeah, we've been talking about this for a while, but we'll have to talk this week, and maybe we can write some monologues or something. We have to do something.
Oh, I love that idea. Yeah, we can get together. We can do conscious writing. I'm not going anywhere.
Me neither. I love that. I love that. Good for you.
I'm here in this house all the time, so I would love to create with you. So
yeah, we're gonna do something.
Happen.
We're gonna FaceTime and we're gonna make something happen. And so this is Lauren Moran Mills again. She is the loveliest. She's not just beautiful, but she's the loveliest human being. She is a director. She's an actress, a model, and a choreographer, and an incredible teacher at the Male Performing Arts Center. Lauren, I love you to pieces. Happy Mother's Day, and we will talk this week.
Love you. Thank you, Maria, for having me. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, honey. Talk to you soon.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Bye, babe. Okay. Oh, my God. What a great person. What a great person. All right. So our show is flying by. Let me please, this time, to go by and see Lynn Porter is a great show. Linny, thank you, honey. And Lynn, one of my best in the whole world. Porter's genius. She is doing all these amazing concerts for seniors on Wednesdays and for the rest of us. So Lynn says you have to reinvent. We have to reinvent ourselves. You are absolutely right. And you know what? I really have to say I'm so inspired by our friends that are performers that are doing just that. And we're going to keep going. This is an evolution. You know, there's revolutions and there's evolutions. And we are in an evolution. And it's like ocean. No one, I remember when I was maybe in my 20s, I grew up in Massachusetts. So there's a lot of like amazing, when you go to the ocean, huge waves out there, right? So I'm like in Manchester, Mass or something, like huge waves. And I'm trying to learn to body surf. And I keep trying and I keep trying and I keep trying and I can't get it. And this little 8-year-old says to me, "Lady, you're doing it wrong." I said, "Well, how do you do it?" He said, "You see the wave in you, just let go." An 8-year-old told me that. And I never forgot it. And that 8-year-old is, I'm sure, you know, in their 30s now. But so that's kind of it. It's like body surfing right now. We have to body surf with the universe. We don't know what's coming. We have to just stay grounded. And yet there's something coming. Just let go and see what comes out of it. There's beauty in letting go. And I know it's hard for people that are planners, but there's something coming and there's something creative coming. It's already happening. And you're right, Lenny, we have to reinvent ourselves. Okay, so Andy Bolger says, we need Darren back in Pigeon Forge. You know, Andy, I'm sure you do. I'm sure. I was looking at those videos and it was a packed house and people were just having such an amazing experience. And, you know, people like Darren that pour their heart and soul into a show like that. And then all those other amazing performers and musicians and everything, you know, those people, that's energy being put out into the world. And then an audience takes that energy in, goes back to their homes or their jobs and puts that energy out to the world. So as performers, we get the ball rolling and then the audience takes it. And it's, you know, we got to keep doing that. So Leo has posted Darren's information. Thank you, Leo. Okay. Let me see what else. Brian Johnson. Hi, Brian Johnson, my friend from Stoneham, Massachusetts. Amazing guy. He's doing a really fun show. I've been watching it every Saturday. It's called Musical Bingo, right? So DJ Brian, Musical Bingo. And I'm loving it. Brian, it's been such a great escape for me. Thank you. Faith Daniel, thanks for having him on tonight. I love Darren. That was my pleasure. Gene Simpson, the arts are critical to our communities now more than ever. And until we can get back it live, we continue to find ways to bring it through technology. That's right. Just like radio podcasts, Facebook shows. You're right, Gene. And Gene is involved in art heavily out in Indiana where she lives. Dominic Pupa, yes, Dominic Pupa is going to be on the show next week. He is calling in his own words. He said to me, I am quarantine gold. And Dominic, I can't really argue with you there. You're also a pain in the ass, but that's one of the reasons I love you. So I cannot wait for next week. Dominic Pupa is going to join us, and I'm not sure who else. I like to plan these things a little bit, but definitely come to that. Let me see. Kathy Roy Spees. Hi, Heart. She says, hi, Lauren and Maria. Kathy, and I posted it on my Facebook wall, but maybe you guys can go back and look. The company, it's called The Company. It's the older kids in our school that do a lot of outreach, and they do a lot of amazing performances on the stage, on stages, and they go to different. Thank you, Jimmy. They put together, Kathy and Darius and Dana Graber put together this amazing compilation. It's on my Facebook wall. Please go and watch it. It's you will be found from Dear Evan Hansen. I want to thank Jim Bell, our producer and engineer. I want to thank Armed Radio, our mothership, Joe Rocks, who asked me to come on and do this almost 3 years ago, and I can't thank you enough. I want to thank my audience. Darren Romeo, thank you for calling in. Lauren Moran Mills, all of you, I love you guys. Thank you for coming back week after week. I love and appreciate you, and we'll see you next week. God bless you. Stay safe.